Je veux demeurer près de toi, être purifié dans ta présence. Je veux me prosterner à tes pieds, entendre ta voix et marcher avec toi.
Hello, and welcome back to this new episode of One Story, One Word. If you are new here, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Today we are going to read John 21 from verse 15 to verse 17. So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than this? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonah, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved, because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus said unto him, Feed my sheep. So I read this passage a few days ago, and I'm recording this podcast a little bit later. But this passage sat in my heart for days and days, and I was just amazed on how of the heart of Jesus and how he is and how he behaved with people who have betrayed him. And what I wanted, there is so many things that we can say in this passage. I will try to do it to share some information that I think important. But okay, I'm just going to start. So in the beginning of this passage, when Jesus is saying, Oh, Peter, Simon, do you love me? The term that he's using is the term agapao, which means, do you love me with all your heart? Do you love me dearly? And Peter answered, saying that, Lord, I love you, but tenderly. And after that, Jesus asked the second time, do you love me dearly? Do you agapao me? And Peter answered with another type of love, like phileo love. He answered, I love you tenderly. And the third time, Jesus said, do you love me tenderly? Do you phileo me? And here it is said that Simon was grieved because Jesus asked him, do you phileo me? Do you love me tenderly? And he answered saying that, Lord, you know one thing, you know that I love you tenderly, I love you phileo. And he was grieved because, maybe he realized that I'm disappointing you. Now you realize that I don't love you agapao, and I just love you phileo. I wish I was loving you agapao, but after everything that I did, I betray you, I deny you, and now I'm kind of depressed, being naked in the middle of the sea. After all the teachings that you gave us, all those things, I am just a disappointment, Lord. I cannot tell you that with everything that I know, that I love you the way that you want me to love you. I don't love you agapao, I love you phileo. And another thing in this text is that in the first part, in verse 15, when Jesus is saying, oh, do you love me? Feed my sheep, feed my lambs. The word feed here is in Greek the word bosko, which just means feed. And in the second part, when he say, do you love me? The agapao. And Peter answered, I love you, phileo. He told him, okay, feed my sheep. And the term feed here in the second time is in Greek poimeno, which means feeding and caring at the same time. And the third time, Jesus is asking to feed his sheep. But feed here is the word bosco, which means just to feed. And what we can see here is how Jesus is trusting someone who betrays him, who denies him, who is not following him, who is just like not everything that he has taught during his life, who is his disciples, who follows him every day, every night, who prays with him, and he's still trusting him despite all those things. And he's kind of like, Peter, I know everything that you are. I know how you have been. I have been with you all those 3 years and a half, and I still trust you with all your insecurities, with all your doubts, with all your brokenness, with all your with all your faults. Like, I still trust you. And we should always try to be like Jesus. Not try, we should become like him. How are you with people who have disappointed you? Are you just like, oh, I cannot trust them anymore? In this case, we can see that, Peter has denied Jesus 3 times, and Jesus is like redeeming him 3 times. And because he has redeemed him 3 times, he said, just like, I can trust you with my flocks. I can trust you with my lambs. I can trust you with my sheep. And if I trust you, you should trust yourself. And that's it. There is no discussion about that. And that's what I really like about this text, is that Jesus is not asking me or you to be perfect. He's like, okay, this is my standards. I want you to love me agapao. And even though if you do not love me agapao and you just love me phileo, I am willing to trust you. I know that your love can grow. I know that your love can grow to become agapao. But with that phileo, I want you to take care to feed my sheep. And when it will become agapao, you will be able to feed it and to care for them. And you just have to be in the mind of Christ. You have to think like him and to trust that everything that he says, you should just follow. I almost forgot to mention that, the scholars of the Bible sometimes say that because it seems that Peter was one of those disciples who was very fiery, and he was like putting himself always in front of the other disciples, like he has more love. That's why Jesus, the first time he asked him, do you love me more than these? But even if you realize that, oh, I'm not I'm not who I thought I was, And that's something that Jesus like, that you completely realize what is in your heart. And when you realize what is in your heart, the truth of your heart, not what you think you are, it is where you can start serving Him. You are just like, okay, I am not perfect. I am not that loving. I am not that faithful. Jesus wants you to know that. And it's not because you know that, I'm not always faithful, I'm not always perfect, I'm not always this or that, I cannot serve Him. He's like, I still want to trust you. Isn't that beautiful? And there are so many things that we can say on this small passage when you analyze, when you meditate on those words, agapao, phileo, bosco, and poimeno. There are so many things that we can say on lambs, sheep. I really invite you to read this passage because I don't want my podcast to be too long, but there are so many things to learn from this exchange between Jesus and Peter and what is happening spiritually in this moment. There are so many things, but the heart of Jesus is so pure. And what I also like about this, I'm going to finish on this, is that sometimes we know that we are Christians, that we are supposed to act like Jesus, and we are just going to read this passage and say that, okay, people have betrayed me, but I still have to trust them. And you do it in a place of bitterness, of a place of resentment. But when I read this passage, I just can feel how Jesus was very tender and gentle and loving with Peter. I don't know if you can feel the gentleness of Jesus. He was so gentle in this moment. It was not like, okay, you have betrayed me, but you know what? I still trust you. Okay, do this, do that, do this, do that. He was like, I still trust you. I'm not mad at you. I'm okay. It's okay, Peter. And we should become like that. Because for me, most of the time, I'm just like, okay, I have to do this because this is a Christian behavior. And sometimes I can do it in the place of resentment. I'm just like, Jesus, this is not right. But I still do it. But we should make sure that we are always doing things like Jesus without resentment, without bitterness, with complete happiness, with complete joy. And I would just say tenderness because I just feel the tenderness of Jesus in this passage. I love this passage. Anyway, so I encourage you to really study this passage and let me know what are your thoughts in the comment. Share with someone who is maybe doubting himself or herself, or I don't know. Let me know what you thought. What are your thoughts in the comment section? And like also the podcast, and we will see each other in another episode. Be blessed.